Well, we are live, and that means one thing. You're here with your Wednesday Night Delight. This is Lowdown. How you doing, guys? We are the level of wrestling, and please do not adjust your volumes. We are sounding sexy as hell tonight with new equipment.
Well, they are. I'm not.
Wow, you can just shoosh, Chris. Just shoosh. This is why we need t-shirt sales, which you lovely people can hear about very soon. Guys, tonight we're going to go through a variety of topics. We're going to mix things up a bit. We're not going to be as structured as usual. We definitely don't have too many weekly wazeems this week. So we're willing to take a few of your suggestions and definitely taking your questions. If you've got any questions you want to ask us, send them in through the app or send them in at @LevelerLOW. And of course, you can always tweet them as well to Paul at Y2Stump, or you can send Chris at @Lammy332. So how are we doing tonight, guys?
I want Wednesday Night Delight on a t-shirt.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, I was at like a 9 out of 10. Now I'm like at an 11 out of 10 right now after that.
11 out of 10.
Yes.
Let's put 11 out of 10 on a t-shirt. Let's put everything we say on a t-shirt. 186% of things we say on t-shirts.
Where's Rentis? I want that shirt too.
Only if it's going to be on a milk bottle.
I want Where's Rentis?
I just want Rentis back. I miss that guy.
Like, do we just invite him back? Like he never left?
I'm gonna send him an invite.
I don't even know like how to react if he does want to come back. I mean, he might be a different person. He might have seen some shit. Who knows?
We've sent him an invite, so he may show, he may not. Guys, how did you find Raw London this week?
It was meh.
Okay. Paul, what do you think?
It was a show. I read the spoilers first, and then went, "Oh my god, this stinks!" And then I watched the Hulu version of it, which cut out like half of the show, and I went, you know what? It wasn't as bad as it looked. I mean, it still had just bang your head against the wall booking decisions.
Yep.
But you know, it was a 6 out of 10. Look how excited I am for a fucking 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay. I'll be the nice guy. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10, just because the show itself actually wasn't that bad. There was a few booking decisions that are, you know, as you said, iffy, but there's also the opportunity. Oh wait, no, there's not, because they didn't give us an ending to Raw. They didn't give us a reason to tune in next week, and that's why I'm dropping it 3.5 points.
Well, the issue I've got as well is it is great having an Intercontinental Champion. It's not great having an Intercontinental Champion that hasn't appeared on Raw in 2 weeks.
Hey, you want a scary fact? Your Intercontinental Champion's just got taken off a European tour.
Yeah, man. Apparently, Daniel Bryan's having issues with his neck. Probably should have had that second surgery instead of being, no, I can rehab it myself.
Can you say Chris Benoit?
Chris Benoit.
This is all heading so the same way.
Brie, watch your back.
It's okay, we can lose Brie, don't warn her.
I think Bryan will be smarter. I think what we'll end up seeing is sometime between now and... Well, this is Daniel Bryan's last year. That's the way I see it.
This is the last time he will ever sniff a championship, no matter what it is. He is not touching another piece of gold inside WWE. They've been burned twice. I mean, you know, they had big plans, I got to think, both times. I know the first time they did coming out of Mania last year. This year, you know, there should have been big plans. And, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money that's just going bye-byes.
Hey, can you imagine they put him in that ring with Brock at Mania? Imagine how bad he came out with it now.
I'm not going to lie. I honestly think Luke Harper did part of the damage. Because we've all seen that clip from SmackDown like a few months ago when Bryan got smashed into the mat on his head.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant recently.
I was gonna say though, even more than that though, like you look at his first match back, he came back too early. I mean, the reports were already out there that he wasn't 100%, and he comes back and he's already doing suicide dives and shit. Like, have you not learned anything? And then WWE, in their infinite wisdom, they put him in a fucking ladder match. I mean, seriously, guys. I mean, they need to be the ones that sit him down and go, hey, guess what? No more suicide dives, no more flat back drop kicks off the top rope, no ladder matches, no headbutts. I mean, he's the one guy that is smart enough and capable enough to change his style from a high flyer like he was into a mat-based guy.
Yeah,
he can do this.
He needs to become a technician.
Yeah, that's it. He needs to be just a grounded wrestler. Be a Bret Hart.
I can't think of anything more boring to watch, but that's just me.
Not me, actually, but...
That's like my wheelhouse, so that's what I like.
I'm okay. On you go, Chris, sorry.
I was going to say, speaking of apparently boring, there's something else on the roster, another man on the roster, who is being constantly accused of overselling, who just so happened to have match of the night on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he means John Cena.
Yeah, because John Cena always oversells those moves.
You're damn right he does. I've never seen him sell so many finishes from The Rock at WrestleMania. I mean,
I
he
like
sold
Cena
those so
quite.
well.
I'm a chain gang soldier, quit.
But you have to admit, Dolph Ziggler and Adrian Neville are a match made in heaven.
I'm kind of with Paul on this one. I think it was a great match. I don't see a match made in heaven, just on the basis there's not enough story there.
Oh no, but what I'm saying is if they go into Mania next year with a big storyline angle going into it, that'll be match of the night.
I think it could be, definitely for theatrical purposes and good ring telling. Ziggler could sell cars to a car salesman. He could sell oil to the Arabs, but he can't sell me on a match. I'm still struggling to get into him.
With most people, I can say, yeah, okay, he's overselling. With Neville, everything felt like it was on the mark.
Oh yeah, I think it kind of helps Neville as well. Being that new guy coming up, he needs to look strong. So put him with a guy that oversells, and he'll look great. If he does it all the time, though, there could be an issue with it.
But the thing was, and this is what I liked, is for as much as Ziggler was selling, Neville was putting in effort on the attacks and on his selling as well.
It was nice to see. I think the fresh face thing kind of got a lot of people too, so that was a bonus. Paul, what do you think?
The match, fine. It's the finish that I don't get. I mean, Dolph Ziggler, why can't he take a loss here? I mean, now we've seen like a direct line where Neville is. Okay, he can beat Curtis Axel, but he can't hang with anybody above that. I mean, he can hang with him, but he can't beat him.
I honestly think that should have been a double pin. That should have been a matter of two guys getting caught up in some roll-up situations and ending up in a double pin.
It should just been a flash pin then. I mean, you don't have him hit a red arrow or anything like that. Don't have him hit his finisher. Just have him hit a quick roll-up, get a 3, and there you go. I mean, then Neville's on his way instead of losing back matches on Raw.
I'd like to see the progression of, he's losing, he gets the double pin, next week he wins. I'd like to see that progression with him. I'd like to see, them even saying that he's learning just from being on the main roster.
The only problem is that wins and losses still matter. I mean, whether people want you to think so or not.
Not if you're in the Divas division, apparently.
Don't be bringing us down. There's only it can't be called a division. There's 4 people in it.
I was going to say one match at a time, guys.
But I mean, did you guys want spoilers for SmackDown? Because guess what, he doesn't win again.
Who's he against on SmackDown? Sheamus?
Yeah, Sheamus. It's a DQ.
Oh, that's surprising, then. That's not surprising either.
I'm okay with him losing by DQ. He doesn't lose by pin. When you lose by pin or tap out, it looks bad.
Yeah, but he's still not getting wins. I mean, he should. Right now is a perfect opportunity for this guy with Bryan going down. That you could realistically put that IC title on him. You know, but a win over Ziggler on Monday, and I could legit see that happen. I could see him go, oh, okay, guess what? This guy's on his way. Yeah, he couldn't hang with Rollins, but he can beat a guy in that division. He can beat Dolph Ziggler. So if there's a tournament situation or whatever, I mean, I could see him getting that belt. But now, I just don't want him to be broken. He is too good for them to do this.
I think next week he needs to get the pin on... I'd actually go as far as to say that next week he needs to get the pin on someone like Orton as a quick roll-up.
No, you can't do that.
Only with a Rollins distraction.
No, because then that leads to the idea that Neville would be some kind of like tweener heel. Because at what point does a babyface pin someone after the heel interferes?
You just had Randy Orton beat the entire tag division by himself on Monday, clean. Yeah. So, that can't happen. Ziggler would have been the perfect guy for him to beat. Outside of that,
honestly, I would have him go and beat some of the lower card guys and work his way up through the whole roster.
I'd have Neville beat Harper.
That was actually the first name I was thinking of. So yeah, that's fine. Have him get in there, get the shit kicked out of him by Luke Harper, and then come out with a flash win. Okay, good on me. If you want to build it, this undercard, this Mighty Mouse character that they want to call it, whatever. It's really not that, but this underdog guy. That's how he has to get wins. You know, he has to get those flash wins over the big guys. So
my only issue is they need to have Finn Balor debut next Monday, and that will overshadow everything.
They can't do it before Extreme Rules.
What?
And can't debut him before Extreme Rules.
Why not?
Because it's far too soon. If you have, like you just said, it would overshadow everything. You don't want him to overshadow Neville yet.
Finn Balor's going to overshadow everything when he comes up at any point.
Oh, of course. But, I mean, with Neville there, you at least want to give him that build. You want some kind of chance there. Wait until maybe Neville gets slightly wins, and then have him interfere.
What I mean by this is have Balor accept the open challenge by Cena. You wouldn't even have to have Balor win. You would have Rusev interfere.
Still, though, that's another NXT guy that's coming up and losing.
No, he wouldn't lose. That's what I'm saying. You'd have Rusev interfere.
But in the eyes of WWE, a disqualification is still a loss.
Yeah, it's still not a win. I mean, I like your idea. I really do.
No,
if that was to get the belt off Cena.
But my argument is,
but that's not happening for a bit.
My argument is, you then have Balor help Cena fight off Rusev.
But that could almost drag Balor down into Cena's stink.
But that would then cement him as the face.
I got to go back to this whole Daniel Bryan thing, where this is a smaller guy that Vince has gone, okay, whatever, yeah, I don't like little guys, but I'm going to put the belt on because that's what you guys want. Now, he's already been burned twice. Do you think he's going to get burned yet again on a little guy to be the face of his company? I mean, to me, Balor's stick down in NXT for a bit.
Vince is high on Balor. We know this. We know this.
He's the same age as Bryan and an inch taller than him.
Yeah, but Balor has the better image.
And a foreigner. I mean, this is not working out in his favor. I love Finn Balor, and I really think he's going to be a star. But
you're one of these guys who, if they're not 6'4", then they shouldn't be. That's not the case anymore.
It's.
I would believe it is while Vince is in charge. Now, when Vince disappears, Triple H might have a different say. But for the time being, Vince is still in that driving seat. Oh, you can still be hot on him.
No,
doesn't mean he's going to be on the card.
We know Vince wasn't hot on Bryan. We know Vince is hot on Balor. There's a difference there.
Yeah, one was the best wrestler in the world for quite a few years. I'm with you on Balor. I really think he's going to be a stud. He just needs to stay away from Vince's booking for as long as he can. Keep him down in NXT until Vince leaves.
Currently,
if you keep Balor down in NXT, what is he doing now already?
He's being a star. He is a top-level star in NXT.
Yeah, he's being a stud.
But the issue that you've then got is he's overshadowing everybody else in there except for Kevin Owens. Balor and Owens are the two people at the moment in there that are overshadowing everyone.
Oh, of course, but that's why you have your faces and your heels top level in NXT. This is also how they get people to watch the network.
When
they've got such good stars.
When somebody is too tall, you don't tell everybody else to stand in their shadow. You do one or two things. You get them to stand up, which they can't because it's not. It's still technically a development section. It's the upper development, but it's still development to an extent. So you have Balor move out of the way, which you move him to the main roster.
It's development in name only.
Yes and no. Because, you look at some of the guys and you look at the tag champs at the moment in NXT are not fantastic by any means necessary whatsoever. Perfect example, those guys are not big, famous, amazing stars. They're kind of
bad.
Well, yeah.
They're fucking bad. That's it. I'll say the words for you. They stink.
But that's a perfect example of NXT it's upper development, but it's still development.
But the problem that they've created for themselves is that now that they have this pseudo indie promotion down there, where now anybody that's looked at as a WWE guy, fans are going to reject.
Completely true. I believe fully that the minute the internet finds out who the WWE guy is, then clearly they're going to go against them. That's just kind of how natural authority works.
But we've known for months that Kevin Owens is friends with Triple H. We've known that Vince is high on Balor. We've known that for 6 months. We have known... No, not 6 months, sorry. 4 months. We have known that they've liked Baron Corbin, who has vanished off the face of the fucking earth for some reason.
Ooh, he's gonna get booed.
But you look at Owens, you look at Balor. We know that the officials are high on them, but they're still getting cheered like hell, especially.
Well, what I meant was that they're indie guys. They're not homegrown talent. Is what I meant.
But you aren't going to have the homegrown talent be there for often. You aren't. You said it best. It's a pseudo indie circuit. There's going to be indie stars there.
Yeah, and those are the guys that those smart fans down there at Full Sail are going to get behind, and then all the fans at home are going to go, oh, well, these fans like them, so I like them too.
Yeah.
Hey, quick fan interaction here. Good old Rory.
Fans, hi, Rory. Rory's not talking about football for once?
No, Rory's not talking about football. It's amazing.
My goodness.
Do you know what's amazing though? Is Rory has stayed with us since day one, and he's always tuning in when he can. Rory, big thank you.
Soccer. Football and soccer.
Rory says that maybe it's too early and not the right time for Balor to come up at all. I kind of get that. There's too many people in that mid-card division at the moment that he would just get plateaued at the top of the mid-card. He wouldn't be allowed in the main event yet.
But here's what needs to start happening. Within this company, they need to start saying, come up with creative ideas, go out there and put on a show. The people who put on the best show will get the TV time. The people who don't put on the best show will not be getting the best TV time. This is where the lack of competition with outside the company comes in. They need to create the competition within the company to push people.
I would agree. I think it's great on paper, but
don't get me wrong. There are issues there. I mean, how do you tell who's having the best matches, who's not? Because as soon as you take, all it will take is one bad week and someone could lose their spot. But you look at things like I was watching the Attitude Era Raw while Raw was happening, and some of those Attitude Era Raws got me because you could see who was becoming the favourites and who wasn't becoming the favourites, and you can clearly see who's starting to get more time and who isn't.
But that's the time there was a difference. There was no internet there for the fans to be smart and know who the WWE were into. Now, before we go too far into this, if you wanted to talk this...
I got something.
Okay.
God damn it. To kind of piggyback a little bit off of what you said there at the beginning, with the mid-card. The mid-card is so good, it's so stacked, but there's no main event scene.
Yes.
I mean, who's in the main event scene? It's Seth Rollins and Randy Orton right now. and that's it.
And supposedly Roman Reigns.
I'd
say he's upper mid card.
Yeah, he's even dropped down thanks to the stink of 7 foot and 500 pounds. I mean, that's brought him down. So yeah, there's no main event scene. What they need to do is start building main eventers, and that's to me the biggest problem, because that mid card, it is so good, and that's really what made the Attitude Era so good to me. Was that mid card was always good. It was always stacked.
Talking about upper mid card kind of guys, this one goes out for you, Jeremy8911. Who do you think Bray Wyatt's next feud will be against?
Ziggler, Bryan. Who did I say the other day? There was Ziggler, Bryan, and somebody else that I said. It wasn't Ryback.
Was it the Authority?
No, that wasn't me. That was someone else. I honestly think the Ziggler's one shout. I can imagine Ziggler's facial expressions already when Wyatt's cutting his promos on him.
Yeah, he no-sells facial expressions.
Man, that's gonna make me not like Bray.
I'm trying to think, to be completely honest.
Well, like what's he been saying in his promos?
He's talked about dedication,
right?
And he's talked about the law and taking away
a love for the business.
Yeah.
Now,
well, that kind of narrows it down. It's a veteran, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could be a part-timer.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you have possibly Sting, maybe Triple H.
I'm going Sting.
I'd say Sting, based on they talked about the fear of losing.
Yeah. I would like that. I mean, it keeps Bray still relevant. It puts him in another situation where a loss isn't gonna kill him, because he's still gonna be interesting. I mean, he's Jake the Snake at this point. I think we pretty much established that.
Someone said.
Go ahead.
Sorry, someone said Roman Reigns based on the failed failure thing.
No, but you know what? That's a great line to use on him, though. Holy shit, that is a line that would get them both over. No, I see Roman. He's gonna be stuck there with the Authority for a bit, and that's cool. I like that.
He's gonna retire Big Show, like he said.
That's a good if he retires Big Show, he'll be the most popular guy in the company.
Exactly why they're doing it. As far as Bray Wyatt goes with Sting, I said it on the Mind of Carnage podcast last night with Cade.
Yes, you did.
Fantastic show, by the way. If you haven't heard it, go over to our app, check it out for free, or you can go over to levelsofwrestling.podbean.com and hear it on your laptop. Basically, I came up with this idea that it's going to be Sting, and Sting is going to lose. Sting is going to lose every match for a year until Survivor Series. Basically, this year, Sting will lose everything until then. And that's when you're going to get your Undertaker-Sting moment. That's going to be the beginning of the setup for Undertaker-Sting at Mania 32. You do it at the place where Undertaker debuted.
Ah, that's good.
You do it there, and then you end it in his hometown.
I like it. Sign me up for it.
It's all about Sting Wyatt to set everything up.
I'll take that. Yep.
And if you want to throw a star into the mix, you then have Kane later on when he's turned. You have him face Bray Wyatt as well. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, I kind of liked, what you said on Mind of Carnage about it possibly being Kane, and then, then you have the Kane Bray Wyatt thing, and that could almost lead to a face turn for Bray, where the end game is Triple H, and he kind of helps destroy the Authority from the inside with Kane's help. I mean, that wouldn't be bad. That's one of the few ways I could see them turning Bray Wyatt if they ever wanted to do that. I mean, I never want to see him be a face, but it'd be a way. I'd watch that.
Long-term booking, it would be the one thing that people have craved and asked for, and now they would actually get that. However, I fear that the IWC and basically everyone else that's ever watched wrestling ever would complain that the story's gone on too long, and they've just gone back to it.
The issue isn't if a story's going on too long. The issue is whether or not you can progressively tell a story. And this is, again, going back to I was watching the Attitude Era Raws. You know, it opened up and it had last week, and it showed you like you're watching the story. It wasn't like Michael Cole going, oh, and last week this happened. It was actually a video package of what happened. There was more storytelling in the Attitude Era. And I attest to that completely. Whether it was good stories or bad stories, there was more storytelling in general.
Everybody had something to do.
Yes, this is something that we need today.
Well done, Russo.
Yep, you combine that storytelling that they had done with the in-ring that we have now. That's a perfect product.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only issue, is they don't tell the story anymore.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know if that's the writer's fault or us as an audience that's constantly going, oh, this is boring. You guys have feuded for 3 weeks.
I think it's down to the fact that people have... The writers are probably afraid of reusing old ideas.
That's what wrestling's based on. Jim Cornette is the first person that'll tell you that there's like, I think he said that it's a 6-year grace period where you could just reuse anything. If it's been over 6 years since you've done it, use it again. Who cares? Audience doesn't remember.
Yeah. And this is
start doing that. Yeah, just start doing that. I'm fine with it.
And this is where, and this gets interesting because Vince talks about this not being wrestling, it's sports entertainment. But there's no entertainment in it. Or should I say there's not as much entertainment as there used to be.
It's minimal. I mean, outside of the in-ring, if the in-ring wasn't as good as it is sometimes, it'd be fucking unwatchable.
Yeah.
I think the in-ring is currently what's saving the product, and that's a sad thing to say when you look at WWE's performance compared to that of, say, Lucha Underground, or even, sadly, Ring of Honor. Even Impact Wrestling at times had a better wrestling product than WWE.
And even right now, it's kind of down from what it's been the last 2 years. I mean, the last 2 years, their in-ring has just been balls out great. This year, there's been about one match. There's been like 2 matches that I go, you know what? That could sneak into my top 20 at the end of the year. You know, and that's not good. I mean, you know, we're 4 months in, and you know, you had the triple threat at the Rumble and the Brian Reigns match, maybe at Fastlane. Those are like the 2 best matches I've seen this year out of WWE.
Well, I'm not going to lie here. I actually sent a message because Michael P.S. Hayes on Twitter decided to say, oh, we've got surprises for TV this week. And immediately after Raw, I turned around and I said, it's a good thing this isn't it's a good thing this isn't a Monday Night War. You probably would have lost this week.
Did he block you? That sounds like something he would block you for.
No, he didn't block me.
Oh, wow.
That's because Michael Pretty Sexy Hayes is a benevolent man. That's why.
Actually, let me check Michael P.S. Hayes.
I love you, Michael. I'm a huge Freebirds fan. So, yeah, Chris does not speak on behalf of all of us here at Levels of Wrestling. I love you, Michael. Can't wait to hear the Hall of Fame. I used to live on Bad Street as well.
Oh, never mind. He later put on Twitter, wow, I never said huge surprises. I said surprises, and to me there were some surprises to each his own.
Come on, the surprise was the fact there was no surprise, and unfortunately you weren't surprised.
Yeah, we were surprised that there was no surprise. So, technically, he delivered.
So he did what he said. He surprised.
Well, the heel turn there for what's her face, Old Funkadactyl.
Oh, Naomi, yeah, that was.
That was a surprise.
I have literally just sent a tweet back saying, surprises. The only surprise was no 6-man tag match for the main event for once.
That's good.
Speaking of Naomi, though, Paul, you know what? For a diva moment, she cut a better promo on Raw than the majority of the male roster.
I cannot lie. Before the match with Neville and Ziggler, that was my Raw moment for this week. Yeah. That was... everything that came out of her mouth was 100% true. You couldn't help but sit there and think, wow, that was a... well played. That was a pipe bomb.
Yeah, it was good. But really good. I mean, hopefully this will lead to something for her.
It better do. I mean, she's one of the better divas on the roster.
I hope so. I mean, she's someone that they can kind of build a division around. So
Yeah.
I hope so.
She is the equivalent to Jacqueline and Ivory.
She's a pretty mean sister.
Oh, she's a pretty mean sister. Give her a cowboy hat, see what happens. I'm telling you.
She just needs a new finisher. I fucking hate that finish.
Oh, you don't love the ass to the face?
No, it's the absolute.
It's the fact that they run into it. You can't help but sit down and wonder, really.
Yeah, it's the worst. I mean, at least do it in the corner or something like that. That I can buy. You know, do it into the corner. Okay, well the person's sitting down, then a running ass to the face. Okay, that looks devastating. I'll take that. But
I would rather she jumped and sat on someone's face.
I'll take that.
At least it looks powerful. It's like a leg drop to the face with your ass. So,
I'll buy that, and Chris will take that. Yes.
Oh, Chris would take that any day he could.
No, I would not.
Oh, Chris, you're a shocking man. She is a tremendous woman. The Usos are very, very lucky.
Well, one of them is.
Well, he's playing the bongos and the samba all at the same time, so he's doing well.
Well, you also know that he's pretty screwed right now.
Oh yeah, he is majorly screwed. Talk about a bad time to be injured in WWE, right?
6 months off after WrestleMania. Holy crap.
Oof. Yeah, that's bad, especially for a hurting tag division, and they were one of the few bright spots in it, and now, oof, boy.
I'm not going to lie, I'm not complaining. It's the main reason the Lucha Dragons came up.
Yep, absolutely correct.
If that's the case, I'm sorry to the Usos, but I'll let one of them get injured all over again.
And yet we're still stuck with the the ascension, and the primetime players cutting awful promos. Give them a map.
Darren Young, but Rainbow is my favourite colour.
Oh man, talk about WWE growing some balls. Rainbow's my favourite colour.
I was thinking you fully know that Vince or Michael Hayes has written that.
I mean, they may as well have put some kind of racial slurs in there because it was Michael Hayes. You know it was. Paul?
I can't deny that. But, if Michael Hayes had a little bit more involvement in it, he would have had, he would have had a big rainbow in the background, and he would have him talking with a lisp, and have him go into Broadway shows and talk about Judy Garland and all that. So,
yeah, we should probably be grateful.
Yeah, I mean, what they're doing with them, perfect. And if they ever want to bring it up on TV, even better. Just don't make him a caricature. That's all that I ask for. Because this is someone that could really inspire folks out there. He really can, if portrayed right. And don't let WWE fuck him over. And it seems like he wouldn't let them do that. So.
Fun story. Sexual Chocolate, when he was in the storyline with the transvestite, was actually told on several occasions that he was an inspiration, and it was kind of cool that he was able to be so open with a storyline like that. So
I agree.
Through that, then why not?
I agree. Mark Henry is quite the inspirational man. He's been with a tranny. He's been with an old woman. I mean, this is he's an inspiration. He truly is.
He's just not been with another big man. That's the only issue. Hey, Mark, you know where I stay. Oh, yeah.
I bet you somewhere along the line he has.
Oh, probably.
I bet you him and Big Vis.
Oh, which one had the bigger boobs?
Big Daddy 5 did.
Oh, Big Daddy 5.
Yeah, it was a V. Yeah, that's 5. Roman numeral. Come on.
5 times. With Booker T.
No, Booker isn't invited to that party. He ain't big enough.
Yeah, okay. Someone's gonna wipe the sweat down though. I mean, they're not gonna do it. They need a rag on a stick.
Oh.
Yeah, this is getting real dark real quick.
Yeah, I bet you it was too.
Have you guys heard Steve Austin's podcast this week?
No, I haven't.
No, good segue.
He discusses the Springboard Stunner.
Oh God, yeah. Do you know I heard about this, and I'm quite interested actually. Do you guys feel that that should have been a finisher, or do you just feel that's another off-the-cuff move?
That should be a finisher. That should be the alternative to the AA. The AA fails, you pop out a springboard stunner. It's a good out-of-nowhere finisher.
Here's the thing, though, is that Cena, now all of his moves, he doesn't have a true finisher. I mean, he just has transition moves at this point. AA, transition move. The STF, that's a transition move at this point. I mean, they're not putting anybody away by themselves anymore. So it's a little different. I mean, and for Austin to, if he's all butthurt about it, you know what? Fuck off, dude. It's not like you invented the move.
He wasn't butthurt. All he said was that, it's because of how the Stone Cold Stunner was set up. Stunners are such a big move now. It should have been used better. It should have been used as a finishing move. A bang out of nowhere. Because Stardust took that and kicked out at a 2 count. He said, that should have been a Rusev gets up, and bang out of nowhere, 3 count.
I mean, I see his point, but there's a big difference between John Cena doing it and Steve Austin doing it.
Yeah, that's Steve Austin tooting his own horn and saying, well, my move should be respected.
Yeah, that's like Jake Roberts going and saying, hey, you know what, everybody that's done a DDT, fuck you. That should have been a finisher.
He also points out to the likes of the way that Cena does it with the springboard aspect. He says, that's... He said it's both risky, because obviously if your foot misses or anything, or if someone catches that wrong, it could go badly, but it's good.
This past Mondays, though, it looked a little ugly, so I like the other ones that he's done before.
When he did it at Mania, I thought it looked a little ugly. I thought it looked a tiny bit awkward, and I was like, really?
I like it. I'm for it. I mean, it's expanding a little bit. I don't want to see it every match, though.
I want it to be a finisher.
I'd be okay with that. I would like it to be a finisher for somebody else.
BRot36 says that everyone has a finisher and 2 former finishers now.
Yeah, I mean, it's WWE 2K is what it is. I mean,
I kind of get it. At the same time, I'm kind of like, it's just a 6th move of Doom now. Like you said, it's a transitional move, it's no big deal. I really, really don't give a shit if Cena gets a new finishing move. At this point, people won't recognize a new finishing move as a new finishing move for him.
Right, until he starts, getting 3 counts with it, whatever.
I say, once he starts putting people away with it, then he will.
Right, yeah, build it up. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because as long as John Cena's going out there every Monday and defending that title and having one of the best matches on the card, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. I love this gimmick that he's doing right now. I think it's great. Keep it going. John Cena is awesome.
I would love to see a returning star, like even if it's just a one-off for a one-night thing.
Good.
Maybe a prior U.S. champ come back and challenge for that open title,
Magnum TA, the ball is in your court, Magnum.
Well, this is what I had said, is I would love for Balor to come up, and I would love for Balor to get in the ring, and... John Cena says, what do you have that makes you think you can beat me? And Finn Balor to say ruthless aggression.
No, God, no.
I want him to...
I would straight up just mark out at that.
I want him to fuck up and say toothless aggression. I think that would be fantastic.
That'd be if it was Adrian Neville.
I would be okay with that.
I would love
By the way, has anyone noticed that they haven't let Neville speak yet?
I don't think Neville's gonna get to speak. I think he's gonna get a manager in William Regal.
Wait, didn't he on SmackDown?
Oh God, what? Yeah, he did actually. He did speak.
Oh crap!
Yeah, I kind of watched SmackDown for a couple minutes.
Okay. They only let him speak. Wait, is it SmackDown for this week or last week?
Last week.
Crap. See, if it was in England, I could have understood it, because they'd been like, oh, maybe the English people would understand him.
Yeah, that's another reason why him losing to Ziggler pissed me off, too. I mean, give him the win in front of the home crowd.
I'm not going to lie, I'm also pissed that they decided to turn down the pop that he got. Because apparently the building exploded when Neville came out.
That's ridiculous. I'm waiting for them to just digitally put in signs at this point. That's what I'm waiting for.
I was really. I can understand maybe turning down Cesaro because he's meant to be a heel, but turning down a pop for Neville, who's the home crowd guy, that is just fucking stupid.
I'll be honest. It's their show. They can do what they want. I get that.
Bullshit! I paid for my ticket. Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Fans demand so much from a product now, right? If this is their show, they can do what they want. If this is our podcast and someone tweets in and says something derogatory, I'm not going to read it out. I don't need to. That's my choice. I'll mute that person. Unless I'm going to mock them for it, because fuck you, that's our show.
The whole concept behind this was Neville was meant to come out and get the pop because it was the home crowd.
Oh, no, I get
they got the pop, they turned it down. What was the point?
You turn it down because you don't want him to have a bigger pop than your already established stars.
That sucks.
But
that's manipulating the audience. I mean, and of course they do that. They always do that. Every form of entertainment.
They've done that since day one.
Yeah, every form of entertainment does that. But that's just disgusting.
So on this lovely light note, guys, if you're listening, please make sure that you tweet us in with your questions and your thoughts on what we spoke about using the hashtag LowFamily. Also, if you're listening in the future from now, I guess, on the podcast or on the app, you can always send us in a question for us to answer on the next show. Please don't be afraid to send in with a name. We'll always give you so long as you're not abusive, we'll always give you a shout out on the show. Guys, let's hear it from you. What's your pop and heat of this week?
I think I've made my pop pretty clear in Naomi and Ziggler versus Neville.
You kidding me? Your pop wasn't Neville being turned down? I'd have thought a different, Chris.
Well, the heat of the week is probably going to be Ambrose versus Adam Rose.
That was cut out of the Hulu version.
I am honestly concerned that they took out of the Shield. You have the three guys. You have Seth Rollins, who's become a great chicken shit heel. You have Roman Reigns, who's become an okay.
You can say the badass babyface. Don't be afraid.
He's not badass at this point. Jesus.
He's good. Look at that. Chris is softening on him. I like it.
He'll get there eventually. But not yet. He's not yet. But the Dean Ambrose is the guy who's probably the most popular of the three.
Is he really, or is he the most popular with the IWC?
I would say most talented.
I'd say he's the most popular and the most talented because Ambrose seems to get just as big pops. Ambrose gets as big pops as Reigns, but more consistently. That's the thing. When you look at the house shows, Ambrose gets one of the top pops at every house show.
Tommy Dreamer.
But the issue,
Dreamer.
But the issue you've got is he was headlining Hell in a Cell last year. How has he gone from headlining a pay-per-view to having a match with Adam Rose?
In the exact same way that Bad News Barrett did. He got over in a way that WWE didn't like, so they moved him back on the card.
Yeah, they weren't ready for him to get over yet.
But the issue with that is you can't make a product about when...
Oh, I agree. They can't do it, but they have. It's wrong, but they've done it, and
it's like the stuff. It's like the stuff that they've done with Mizdow. Mizdow is a guy who got incredibly overdoing what no one thought he'd get overdoing, and they didn't pull the trigger on him. They still haven't pulled the trigger on him.
If you want to use Sandow's comparison, you've at least got to mention Santino in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, being one of the last guys in the Elimination Chamber with Daniel Bryan.
I popped hard for that.
And getting the biggest pop, I might add, yeah.
I mean, if you want to look at it this way, WWE, they haven't neutered Dean Ambrose, they haven't buried him, they haven't held him back. What they've done is they've put him in a position so that when he is ready to go, he will explode.
But the problem that you've now got is, will the heat die off? Because personally for me, I feel like the heat has died off of Damien Sandow a little bit. I feel like Mania was the big opportunity and they didn't pull the trigger, and now it's come to, the candle's burning now. That's what I see it as. I see it as they didn't use it to set off the explosives. Now the candle's burning down.
I think the interesting thing will come when they do the releases that they tend to do every year after WrestleMania. If you look at guys like Kofi Kingston, You know, he's been there for, what, 8 years now? I mean, guys like that aren't going to be around forever. They're going to get cut. R-Truth might disappear. You've got all these kind of stars that are sitting there, and then that's when Dean Ambrose can step up and kind of be that middle ground. I honestly believe that Dean Ambrose could be the reason that Cena loses at Extreme Rules. He could also be the reason that Seth Rollins, you know, gets out of the cage. It depends. They can use him in so many ways, because now that he's there, you won't expect it, and that's what the main aim will probably be.
Who, sorry?
Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose is that pawn on the board that comes out of nowhere and takes your king. You know, he is now primed to do any kind of surprise swerve that they choose to use him in.
Well, when's Money in the Bank?
Money in
When's
the
Money in the
Bank?
Bank?
July? I want to say July.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I see him really doing nothing until July.
I think he gets a heel turn before then.
I don't know. I have the weird feeling that they're going to try and give Roman Reigns the Money in the Bank.
I can see. Looking in my crystal ball.
I can see it going to Ambrose, but I mostly see it going to Reigns.
I see Ambrose screwing Reigns out of it, and then getting it for himself, because you want that Money in the Bank briefcase in the hands of a heel.
And
It's
then
so much more fun.
you've got a fresh feud there as well, because we've yet to see Reigns versus Ambrose, which is always a bonus.
I mean, how good would he be as Mr. Money in the Bank?
My favorite thought here is also you've got a Bray Wyatt there, who could be your Money in the Bank holder. But before we get carried away, Paul, what you poppin' heat for this week?
My pop of the heat was actually for that. My pop of the week was for that segment right there. That was good stuff. Do I have a pop of the week? I don't know. No, I guess our show, because our show has been fucking fantastic so far. So I'm very happy with it. So I give us and Mortal Kombat 10 the pop of the week.
Oh, fun fact, while we're on air, I didn't get a chance to tell anyone else this. I'm going to do this here. Guys,
Yay!
if you want a fun sex game and you want to annoy your neighbors, you've got to wait for them to be in, and you take your partner of choice, and you scream Mortal Kombat. Right? And this is great. You're not allowed to stop having sex until your neighbor yells, "Finish them."
Finish him.
And then, when you're done, to let them know you're done, you say fatality, babality, or bruceality.
Round 2, fight.
Now, please go enjoy your sex lives and normal lives, and don't tune out the show just because we mentioned sex on several occasions tonight.
And right when you're about to come, you gotta do like the Liu Kang. Wata. Yeah, do that too.
My pop and heat of the week. Moving on swiftly.
Oh, that I didn't do a heat.
Oh, go on.
My heat of the week goes to those douchebag fans that jumped the rail and hopped into the ring during the SmackDown tapings.
Oh, but even John Cena was stood there laughing at that.
And,
of course he
and,
was, because he watched civilians get their heads kicked in.
and they're part of the problem. Those guys are part of the problem, just moving out of the way and letting the fans, kind of hijack the show for a second.
You remember when Macho Man beat the shit into a fan at WCW?
Yeah, back in my day, those guys would have got the living fuck kicked out.
Yeah, but you know why they've done it right? You know who those people are.
Yeah, and it's stupid.
Who are they? I don't know who they're.
It's a YouTube channel.
Oh, well then, more the reason. I mean, they are so goddamn lucky that guys like Vader or Stan Hansen, or even if Bradshaw was in the ring, he would have clubbed the fuck out of those guys. So, they're lucky they did that while a bunch of wimps were in the ring. Ugh.
Okay, I'll try to be real positive about this. My pop for the week is actually the segment between Roman Reigns and the Big Show. For the first time ever, Roman Reigns managed to get a good pop coming out of the fans because he threatened to retire the Big Show. Fucking take that ball and you run the 100-yard dash with that. You do not stop. You get to the end and you keep fucking running. Because if that's what it's going to take to get them over, you retire Big Show, you retire Kane, and you use that to your advantage. Roman Reigns is this star, and he's ready to be primed. Pull the trigger and let him retire the old fox that no one wants to see anymore.
I agree. It was a great promo. And he got over with a smart crowd, too.
And that's the important thing. He got with a smart crowd. So now the other crowds will see that, and they'll go, wow, wait a minute. there was a good thing there. Maybe we should cheer him. And that's just how it's going to work. I don't care if WWE edited the sound, because that's how it came across on television, and that's how 4 million other people saw it.
I'd just like to point out quickly, the YouTube guys that jumped in are from Troll Station. They have 59 million views, over 300,000 subscribers. They've been joined with people from Jackass on YouTube. They're that kind of prank people.
It wouldn't surprise me if WWE paid them to do it then.
I'm not sure if they were paid for it, but I know that for a fact it was tweeted several times, and there was parodies and stuff and everything coming out of that. Like, there's a picture of the guy's face put onto the Rock's body doing the Rock Bottom to Cena.
I saw that. My heat of the week. I would love to give it to those guys, but Paul, you've already done it.
Yay!
You know what? My heat of the week actually goes to the fact they didn't have a segment that makes me want to tune in next week. They had nothing to keep me hooked for Raw next week. Why have viewers that are willing to watch your show and then say, hey, that was really cool, thanks for sticking around, and then not give them a reason to come back next week?
And
Entice the fans.
This entirely goes back to what I was saying earlier about the Attitude Era. You had a reason to tune in next week because you knew that the story was progressing. No,
it felt, you're right, it felt like a story where this week connects to next week, and last week connected to them, and the week after we'll do the same. I mean, now everything just kind of feels like a one-off.
We don't get the same thing anymore. It's
right. Right. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah, every episode almost feels like an isolated one, you know, where it's just so sterilized and formulaic, you know what you're going to get at the beginning, middle, and end of each show.
Obviously we can't talk a little bit about Raw without, I know he's not here, but Aaron's favorite, Kane. That was a nice little moment. I actually marked out a little bit. I was glad to see him attack Seth Rollins. It worked so well, and then they've made it seem that Kane's unsure of what to do. That's the only reason I have to tune in next week. Because I want to see when Kane turns, if he gets the mask, what happens. And if they're going to really push him with the mask, they need to make sure they do it hard, and they need to make sure that he is the Psycho Kane.
They have to make him... they can't have this be the same Kane we've seen for the past few years. This should be 2002 Kane. Even with the mask.
I'm quite happy for them to have the 2002 mask. Let him keep the bald head and put him in a pair of the trousers that he had from 2003. I'm okay with that. It's a new look. It's a mix of all his elements. Keep him psycho. Give him the big glove again for one hand, and that's it. That's all he needs.
Everybody looks badass with one glove. So.
He needs to be the evolution of Kane. Like, taking it into Pokemon, you've got what?
Pokemon?
Yeah, think about this, right? You've got your 3 different evolutions for a lot of Pokemon, so you'll have Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3.
I have no idea.
I know, right? It's crazy. I'm talking shit.
Yeah,
but
I'm old. So.
When it gets to Kane, you've had Kane who couldn't talk. You've then had Psycho Kane in 2002. Then you had Corporate Kane. Why not mix all 3 together? Don't just make him vicious, make him psychologically mind-fucking. I mean, he's already shown that he can be vicious. We've seen that. We've seen that he can push people around and be a bully while he's in authority. So why not make his knowledge now of the authority mixed with how vicious he's been and create the ultimate monster for someone to overcome?
Can he still wear the mask and the trousers?
Oh, of course he can still wear the mask.
I want mask and trousers while he's in a position of authority.
Mask and trousers while he's in authority. That sounds like a 50 Shades of Grey novel, Paul.
Yes, and speaking of 50 Shades of Grey, I want to say hi to Mick. Hi, Mick! He's not listening right now, but he said that he will, so hi, Mick.
Mick, letting us down.
He's not home, so he's been on holiday. That's what you people call it.
Oh, yeah, he's down in London.
Yeah.
I'm stalking.
Hi, Mick.
Hi, Mick. Oh, no, he's not in London. He's in Dublin. Tell a lie. Sorry, Mick.
Yeah, all those places are the same.
He's not in that place where they go, all right, governor. Then he's the place where he goes, oh, to be sure, to be sure, to be sure.
Yeah.
Mild racism. That's how we all played the game.
No.
Toty.
I like it.
Oh, talking of Irish people, how are we finding Sheamus's new gimmick?
I like it. I mean, I'm an unabashed Sheamus fan anyway, just because I love his in-ring style. I mean, you know, you just going out there, he just going out there just clubbering people, just laying in them clubbering, if you will. I love that, and the fact that now he looks like a big douchebag while doing that is even better. And people hate it, and then they chant that he looks stupid. I mean, that shows that they kind of know what they're doing there to make this guy even more hateable, because you know he's a ginger, so you're already gonna hate him. But to make him look stupid on top of that, oh, it's fantastic. I love it.
I love the hair. I'm not gonna lie. I think it really suits him. It's different as well. Everyone else at the minute seems to either have long hair or a shaved head. Sheamus fucked everyone over and did both.
Yeah, and the beard.
And the beard, yeah, the beard is really interesting. It's all Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, I like it.
I like the beard, like the beads. It's clever. It doesn't look too heavy. It doesn't look sore, but it looks like, you know, he is ready to kick ass whenever he chooses to.
Yeah, I could see him in Braveheart. I could see with a big fucking club, like crushing someone's head.
I would just love to think they would let him wear trousers once in a while. Like, he doesn't need to come out of the crowd in just his underwear.
Sure he does.
No, he doesn't.
Randy Orton doesn't own a pair of pants, neither does Sheamus.
Orton doesn't wear pants because he's too busy shitting in bags. Like, why would you wear pants when you can stealth shit?
Ah, this is true.
Hashtag stealth shit.
Yeah, stealth shit. Oh, man. Jeez, I got to write that down. Hold on. Be right back.
I mean, honestly, it's one of these things now that he could be great. They've got the chance to make a mega heel. Just let them run with it. Have him take the blame for Daniel Bryan being off TV.
Oh, yeah. Even have him, you know, lay in that final beatdown and get Bryan off TV. I like that.
If they want to use it, do it that way. Works for me. Keeps him relevant. Keeps everyone busy as well.
Can we get him into like a little stable with Wade Barrett and somebody else? Can we get that?
You mean like William Regal, Finn Balor,
Finn Balor, British? Yeah, the United Kingdom.
Balor's a heel, fine. I like it.
We can't call them United Kingdom. Sheamus has repeatedly said it. Ireland is not in the UK.
Yeah, but now he's a heel, so it doesn't matter. He can do what he wants.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
Yeah, I like that. Throw Regal in there, yeah, and maybe fit Finlay, because I bet you he can still go.
I want a nice tag team match where Rusev and Sheamus are on the same team.
Ooh.
I pity anyone on the opposite end of that beatdown.
Oh my god, I want that to be a permanent tag team.
Can you imagine what...
Which team?
Sheamus and Rusev.
They'd kill people. I love it.
Could you imagine what it would be like?
It would be...
You know how they did the concerto with the chairs, right? Can you imagine that with a brogue kick and a super kick coming from either side?
They would be the modern day equivalent of like Stan Hansen and Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
I would be very happy with it.
Yeah, give me that.
I really worry what they're going to do with Rusev coming out of Extreme Rules as well.
But we've already booked it. It's fine.
That's it. They're just going to team up.
Yeah, book it.
Okay, cool. Stealth shits for everyone, and Rusev and Sheamus in the tag team.
God, why are they not knocking down our doors to hire us at this point?
Because honestly,
listen to all these collective great ideas that we've had and the enthusiasm behind it. People want this.
Even the people on Reddit, though, have come up with some better ideas than Vince McMahon.
Yeah, yeah. Even people that don't watch wrestling will come up with better ideas than Vince has lately.
That's because wrestling isn't wrestling. Oh, that one goes up for you. That one's for you. You know who you are. Up to my knees.
Yeah, it was good. Hi, Max.
Yeah. That guy. Do you know what? I would love to get Max on here and discuss how he came up with that.
Hi, Max. Because he's a legit wrestling fan and a good writer and a good director too.
I love that you got the wrestlers in for the video. Personally, I just think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't like Colt Cabana that much, but I love the line. Get the bricks.
Oh yeah, get the tomatoes. Come on, that's good stuff.
No, get the bricks.
Yeah, then he said get the tomatoes too. I like them both.
He did say get the tomatoes. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I just watched it the other day.
The fun thing here.
We got a question.
Yo, go on. I was going to say the same.
Oh, then go ahead. You have an accent. You'll say it better.
I'm assuming it's from Wicked Be Ron you were doing.
Yes, it is. Hi, buddy.
Let me try this in an accent. With a lack of top stars, can we really put two big heels in the same tag team?
Oh my gosh, how American did you sound?
As American as I need to be.
My goodness.
I sounded so American I have like fried chicken coming out my ears.
Oh my god, an American flag just draped behind you, a bald eagle came swooping into your window. Oh, there's an apple pie cooling in the kitchen. Ugh.
Yes, there is.
Oh,
good times.
Man.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't care. Put two big heels in that tag team. Because they'll dominate the tag division. Tag division is a dwindling system. Why not use it? They can do both.
Okay with
Give them the gold.
Yeah, because if not, I mean, with a heel champion, then it's okay. Because actually, this was just running through my mind. Especially with Sheamus. What do you do with him now that Bryan's gone? It's not like you can have him challenge for the world title, but you could have him go somewhere else and dominate. So it's okay.
Unless, of course, they're going to put the title back on Barrett as forfeit.
Boy.
I mean, he has to give up the belt, so what does he do? What do they do at Extreme Rules?
No, we already said that we're putting that on Neville, right? Didn't we say that? We're going to rebuild. We're already going to rebuild him after 2 weeks. I think that's a good spot for him, though. A nice little run with that. Give him, you make a tournament almost King of the Ring style, and you just have him be the underdog the entire time. I mean, they really need to embrace this underdog gimmick and give him some flash wins, and kind of just learn from guys like Rey Mysterio. I want this guy to succeed.
We just received a wonderful question from the Ghost of Rory.
What?
Who will get hired by Creative first, Paul or Wasim? There's only one real answer here because Wasim works for WWE. So let's not
he's already there. He's not hiring me, so I mean he's head of creative there, and I don't have a fucking shot.
I would love to work for Creative. I'll work as a mop boy in fucking WWE headquarters if I get to write for WWE. I don't care. Pay me to mop and I'll fucking write. I'll write it in the mop water.
Apparently Vince takes on the opinions of anyone working at the company, even the janitors.
Well, sign me up, because I'm moving.
No, I'm good. I honestly would not want to work at WWE, unless it was like at the network. Put me at the network so I can, do some stuff there. Ooh. But other than that, I wouldn't want to be part of the creative process. Fuck that. It's too stifling, and from what I've heard, people don't even like it there. So no, put me in the network. I want to go hang out with Jerry Styles on the website.
The what was I going to say? The WWE Network is going to film one of Mick Foley's comedy shows for the network. Also,
is he dressed up as Santa Claus?
I hope so. WWE are now looking at using 3D and special effects cameras to film shows that will be specially put on the network. This includes the bullet time cameras that were used for The Matrix.
Oh man, the bullet time cameras used in NXT were fantastic, so I hope they do that. They did, for those of you who haven't seen it, they did Adrian Neville's Red Arrow in bullet time. That was absolutely phenomenal.
It was, because I got to see all the directions that Neville's face went at once. I love a good face change. Literal meaning of face turn. Speaking of faces, with Daniel Bryan disappearing, who steps up as the next big face? I mean, obviously the fans get behind a guy. Who's it going to be? I mean, they can't push Seth Rollins as a face. He's now a heel, and he's doing it damn well. Is it just going to be Randy Orton? I know Orton's doing great.
Yeah, I like where Orton's at, but he's that guy that is in no danger of winning that title right now.
He's
just a guy. Yeah, he's a Twilight. He's 34. he still has another decade left in him.
No, I know, but I think WWE gets rid of him before that.
Yeah, God, I hope not. Because he's still so good, and he's ever evolving his character.
And he's taking health care. He's taking health care. He's got elbow pads back on.
I like the elbow pads.
I like them. I didn't at first. I love them now.
He's just in straight up making Seth Rollins a star mode right now. Jeez, I don't want to fall back onto Neville, but I mean, he's got a shot. Kalisto, I think he's
going to be much bigger than WWE anticipated.
Yeah, he's going to be real big. He's going to sell a fuck ton of merch.
All they need is a T-shirt that says Lucha Lucha, and that's it.
Yeah. Why not Dean Ambrose? I mean, but no, we already got plans for him. So, Dolph Ziggler, I guess he'll take over Bryan's spot.
Yeah, he is the vanilla midget.
He's the definition of it.
Overselling vanilla midget.
Yeah.
Question came in.
Eddie has better hair than Roman Reigns. Run.
Fuck off. If Bryan had to hang it up, I would have Sami Zayn take his spot on the main roster.
Yes.
That comes from Jeremy8911.
Oh,
Jeremy,
God.
you've just gave Chris a hard on. Well done.
I was gonna say, hold on. What did Chris just started a new Twitter account? What happened?
You have single-handedly just. And this is the thing, because they're both. When you think about Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan, they are both incredibly similar in style, in everything, really.
You know what? I have honestly forgot about Sami Zayn. Yeah, why not? I mean,
I'll tell you why not, shall we? Because he's not leaving NXT anytime soon.
Yeah, good point.
He is Kevin Owens' Superman.
He will be. Well, Hideo Itami could easily take his spot.
Yeah, but you still need to finish off that Owens Zayn feud down there. I mean,
Don't get me wrong, that could go on over the summer, but after the summer, going into next year's WrestleMania, Sami Zayn.
I mean, this is all on the assumption, though, that Daniel Bryan's not going to do much for the next few months. He could realistically even still be in a match, just not take a lot of damage.
Yeah, he could realistically be crippled. So
he could be.
They just need to get him out of the ring, shut it down. I mean, he's still young enough that he can come back. I mean, look at Shawn Michaels. So I mean, use that as the template. Be Shawn Michaels, go get healthy, heal up, and then you know what? If you're feeling it, come on back. I mean, you're still going to be young enough. He's only 34.
I mean, go find God, go do whatever you need to do. Go back to being a vegan, lose some weight, because that's what they hated you for in the first place.
Go get a haircut.
Oh yeah, please do. Wow. It really frustrates me that wrestlers now look like real people. I know that sounds really unusual to say, but I liked when wrestlers were slightly over the top. They weren't like, not 80s over the top with like Arachnoman and shit like that, but at least they look like people with an edge to them, like you would recognize them in public and know what they did.
I want more fat wrestlers. Where are my fat wrestlers?
Giant haystacks. I miss giant haystacks.
I want Jerry Blackwell. Give me a Jerry Blackwell. Give me Vader. I want those guys back.
Hashtag fat guy love.
One of the issues a lot of people have is wrestlers' height. I personally have no issue with it because I don't feel like you should ever be told, oh, you can't do this because you're not tall enough.
Except for rides.
You know what? It's sad because that's how it comes across on TV, though. Like, height shows everything on TV.
Yeah, that's not... That's, if I say that, that's not me thinking that. I mean, my favorite wrestlers are all under 6 foot. I think... that's where, to me, that's where the great wrestlers are. I just know how WWE thinks because, you could probably count on 2 hands the number of guys that have been world champion there that are under 6'1".
Ooh, here's a good thing. Wicked B. Rotten says, wrestlers are supposed to be an attraction. I don't like how they look normal either.
Right. As the ace of your company, you know, you want that guy to not look like your next door neighbor. I mean, that's how it works. Unless it's someone like Rey Mysterio. Put a fucking mask on someone, then fine.
I was going to say, but here's the thing: you get a guy like Neville. Neville, everyone will say, "Oh, Neville looks normal." I like to see a normal guy fucking flip like that through the fucking air. Jesus Christ!
Put a mask on him, and then okay.
The athleticism of a lot of people is the attraction. It's not just the image. And that's where I have a lot of issues with people saying, "Oh, only big guys." No, it shouldn't be the case. It should never be the case.
Don't get me wrong, big guys add a lot to an attraction.
Yeah, but you know that's Vince. You know, he's not changing his mind anytime soon, and no matter what Triple H says, I mean, he's probably going to follow the same template to a certain degree.
Hi Vince, I'm a tall fat guy. Hire me.
I have big thumbs. That could be my gimmick.
I'll use the Samoan Spike. Love me.
I do the best.
I don't think that purely because Triple H is high on Kevin Owens.
Yeah, but Kevin Owens isn't big. That's the thing. Like
exactly, and that's why I think that Triple H won't follow the same template as Vince.
Oh no, I was just meaning like he's not fat. He's chunky, but he's big enough that he can look intimidating.
Here's the problem with Owens is that that people think of him as a Brock Lesnar type. You put him next to Brock Lesnar, and he looks like me standing next to Craig. So,
Hi.
Hi up there. So, that's how that's gonna look. It's at the end of the day, it's still an attraction. That everybody's right. It's still a circus, and you want the larger than life characters to be at the front of your product. I mean, even Cena, he's only what 6'2", maybe something like that. He looks short compared to, he looks short compared to a lot of guys, but he's freakishly strong. He's the strong man there in the big top. And you're right about Neville. He is the human daredevil. So and I like that.
Apparently Kevin Owens is 6 foot and 265 pounds.
Which means that he's 5'9", 280. Okay.
Oh, do you know what? I've got a little bit of something to say. That we'll call this my "You Can't IWC Me" for the week. A lot of people on the internet seem to have this idea that when a wrestler says something, everything they say is 100% true. A wrestler's job is to fucking sell you a product. So whatever they do, even if it's selling t-shirts, they're probably lying to you in some form of way. It's a work. Don't believe everything that's told to you. I know quite often on the show we'll reference like, well, Steve Austin said this, or Chris Jericho said that.
Chris Jericho invented wrestling.
Chris Jericho knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. I mean, these people will tell you anything to get you to watch a product that means they get paid. If you still watch a product after Chris Jericho says, wow, this segment on Raw was amazing, and you go check it out, he's getting money. He's still being paid by WWE on a Legends contract.
The other thing to point out is some people need to learn the difference between kayfabe and non-kayfabe. E.g., when you have Kevin Owens say, "Oh, if you don't go buy my T-shirt, I'm going to leave." That's not him legitimately saying, "Oh, I'm going to leave because you won't buy my T-shirt." It's in the goddamn script. Figure it out.
Right.
Oh wow.
I have seen a couple butthurt people on Reddit about that.
Oh, I mean, there's butthurt people all over the internet because they don't understand the difference between scripted and real. I mean, for a show that everyone says is fake, it's incredible how many people get upset when something is said that may offend someone. Like,
and that's the ultimate challenge right there for the writers, is to blur that line. Because, I mean, we're all under the assumption that, we all know that it's scripted and it's fake, but, they have to put that shadow of doubt into our brains. And when they can do that is when wrestling is really fucking great.
Kayfabe is cool. Like, kayfabe is cool as shit.
I love kayfabe.
Kayfabe is cool when it works.
Yeah.
T-shirt
even
that.
When it doesn't.
Kayfabe is cool.
Even when it doesn't, it's still okay.
I would love to think that maybe 2-3 years down the line, we've now got to a point where we don't understand what's being said. This is why when I read like dirt sheets and things, everything that comes out is said apparently, or it would seem that someone has suggested, and that's the only way I'll ever tweet a rumor. is because it's just that. It's a rumor. It's not to be believed, regardless of who has said it. Like, even the stuff that came out tonight with Taz leaving TNA, I'll say Taz has supposedly left TNA.
Well, they had one of the TNA officials said that.
John Kubrick.
So, yeah, that guy. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he's someone to trust. I mean, official in a company, you're going to get it from the company's side of views. Taz, 2 months from now, will come out on his podcast and say something completely different. I guarantee that.
2 months from now? Shit, Monday.
Yeah.
You know what? He's probably recording one right now. So.
Hi, Taz.
Hi, Taz. Hey, Taz, guess what? I'm taller than you. No, I'm not, probably.
He's built at 5'4". What's your real height?
Oh, is he? Shit, I fucking tower over Taz.
Suspension of disbelief. I completely agree. That is something we need. Wicked be rotten. Yep. As we come into the last 15 minutes, guys, if you have any last-minute questions that you want to send us, now's your time. We'll answer literally anything, and I mean anything. We're in that kind of show tonight. Be sure to check us out at levelsofwrestling.podbean.com, and you can check us out on our free app designed by Chris, who has very nicely updated it recently as well, so it's a little bit quicker for you guys. And you can get that on Android if you go to your Google Play Store and download it from Levels of Wrestling.
And soon I'll be pushing out something to stop it from crashing.
Yay! Non-crashable. I wish someone would do that with cars and shows.
It currently works. If you go into it once, it may crash. Go into it again, it'll be fine. It's a known bug. Don't worry about it. I'm working on it. Uni work, Mortal Kombat, they're taking up my time at the moment. Once Uni's out of the way, that'll be fixed.
3 cheers for Chris, because, I mean, he built his whole fucking thing. So, you know, good on you, man. You've done some kick-ass work, and we cannot thank you enough.
Oh, and do you know who else has done some kick-ass work recently? The girls over at Just Saying. They had a great show following Raw. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have a great show every week, but this week was great. I just love the fact that those girls are always so into the product, and they're so up for speaking their mind straight away. Oh, God. Okay, Rory has specifically asked for our weekly Wazeem. Does anyone have any straight-up answers this week?
No, you know what? Everybody's been pretty chill.
I'm going to say the guy that jumped the rail at SmackDown.
No, you know what? No, I do have one. It is Wazeem himself.
Oh, wait, follow or I'll unfollow you.
No, him and Kevin Owens got into a little spat earlier.
Was it Kevin Owens? I know he did one with X-Pac as well.
Yeah, he had one with Owens too.
Oh, wow, I need to look this up now. Wow, what did he say to Owens? Because Owens tends not to reply unless he's being sarcastic.
He was completely sarcastic. He asked him what his thoughts were on, what's his face? Alex Riley. Waseem said, Alex Riley, your thoughts on Kevin Owens? And then Owens responds with, yes, dude, you and Alex will get along great. So glad you tweeted him. So.
Yeah. Wait, here we go. Oh, man, I can't believe he actually got a retweet. All this does is gives him more credit.
Yeah, he gets a lot, man. Like, people respond to this fuckhole. It's terrible.
Waseem, just please come on the show. I'd love to talk to you, like, genuinely, just to find out how you've managed to do this. Because although we might joke and we might take, we might take a few shots at you, I'm genuinely quite impressed with the fact that people go along with this bullshit. If I could honestly speak to you for 5 minutes, I would just love to get you on the show. We can talk about it openly, and you can let everyone know how you got your job in WWE. I mean, which one of the top management stars did you suck off with those cracked lips to get the job?
He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, Waseem.
Oh, Waseem.
He is a Hall of Famer, and no one on the show has anything to do with that Waseem Hall of Fame account on Twitter.
No, I've seen that account. I've heard it's quite funny.
I've heard that the multitudes of people that have anything to do with that are really good looking and funny.
And subtle. Real subtle.
And humble too.
Now guys, as we come into the last 10 minutes of the show, just a reminder, tomorrow night we have Breakdown. If you're going to be tuning in with us live tomorrow night, we can always discuss plenty of topics, but our main region for the show tomorrow is going to be the death of the American Indies. Now, for a while, we've always talked about NXT on the show, and we've brought up one or two things that NXT do that the Indies don't, and how they've got some of the biggest indie stars in the world to go there. But no one's really gone into depth as to how NXT is destroying what is left of the Indies.
We're doing it.
We're going to take the Indies, and we're going to take NXT, we're going to put them in a blender, we're going to mix them up, and then we're going to come up with a big ball of shit that will be known as Breakdown. You're going to love it, you're going to leave it. Please be there. And we'd love to hear all these fans who have got the network and think NXT is the biggest thing. We really want to hear from you.
Paul is going to make you hate NXT by the time that show is over.
That's a promise.
That's my guarantee.
I'm still gonna love NXT.
You're gonna hate it after I'm done. No, no. As always, we try to be as fair as we can be on the show. We're just giving our opinions because we like to be a little bit more informed than the average bear. Yeah, I just we'll talk about it tomorrow on the show. That's a little tease right there. That's it.
As someone who doesn't really pay attention to indies, I'm not gonna like any of this. Just saying.
That's the tip game right there.
Chris, do you know what? You're our target audience tomorrow. If you've got friends who listen to the show and they want to watch NXT, please, please, please make sure they tune in tomorrow because we're going to tear it apart. And I know Mark Madden said a few things on it that I'll probably quote at some point. I don't always agree with what he says, but the stuff he said recently on NXT is great. Please be sure to tune in then, and be sure to tune in, of course, to Minds of Carnage, Ringside Rambler, and Just Saying, all across on our app and at levelsofwrestling.podbean.com. Guys, have you got anything that you'd love to say at the end of the night?
No.
I do. I absolutely have loved this show.
Yeah, fix him, damn it.
Yeah, this show has just been one of the most fun episodes that we've done in quite a while. I have absolutely loved it. You guys are awesome. I love doing the show with you guys.
It's always good times.
Yes. I absolutely love it.
Good times, good rhymes.
And
good
Craig, you have never sounded better, Craig.
It's the new voice box that Kane supplied me with. It's a little brighter, it's a little nicer, and there's not as much echo.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I like it. Sounds good.
Hopefully we can hear from Krista soon as well. I know she's not going to be on the show for a while, but hopefully she'll write us a few articles for you guys to read. And you can always tweet her at Krista_Iback on Twitter. And that's Iback with a CH, by the way. So please,
yeah, it's
please,
not Ryback.
Speak to all our friends, speak to us, speak to other podcasts that you might think enjoy us. We'd love to have them on the show, speak to them sometime as well. And keep an eye out for our new t-shirt designs that could be coming your way. We'd love to get your feedback on those and see what you think as well. So guys,
That's exciting.
As we sign off, one more time, we have been the Levels of Wrestling. This has been Lowdown, and we'll see you tomorrow night for Breakdown.
Bye.
Yeah.